So my friend called me last month. At the moment I picked up, I could tell something was wrong. She was talking fast. Her voice was shaking. And she kept saying, "You won't believe what just happened to me." And she was right, because by the time she finished telling me this story, I had to sit down. A whole grown woman. Her neighbor knocked on her door at 7 a.m., looked at her in the face and accused her of having something to do with her husband. My friend, who minds her business so much, is almost a problem. This woman said she was the one destroying her marriage. Stay with me, because by the time I finish this gist, you understand why my friend just stood there and laughed. Not because it was funny, because what else do you want her to do? Like, what else do you do when madness knocks on your door at 7 in the morning? So this neighbor, let's call her Mrs. K, moved into my friend's compound about 8 months before this happened. Her husband and their 2 children. Nice family on the surface. They greeted each other at the gate, small talk sometimes. Occasionally, Mrs. K would knock to borrow something. Normal neighbor things now, nothing deep, nothing special. The husband, my friend doesn't even know his name well. She thinks it's Emeka or Emmanuel, something with E. The man would greet her good morning when they passed each other. This was the full extent of their relationship. Good morning, sometimes good evening. This is the entire story of my friend and this woman's husband. So you can imagine her face when Mrs. K knocked on her door that Saturday morning. My friend had just woken up, hadn't even washed her face. She opened the door thinking it was the gateman or maybe a delivery guy. And there was Mrs. K, fully dressed, arms folded, with a face that told she had been rehearsing this moment since midnight. She said, and I quote, "I know what is going on between you and my husband. Don't think I don't know." My friend just stood there. She genuinely thought she was dreaming. She asked her to repeat herself, because surely this woman did not just say that to her. She repeated it, same word, same face, even added, "I have been watching you." Now at this point, my friend had 2 options. She could get angry, or she could try to understand what this woman was talking about. God, this story. She chose to understand first. She asked her calmly, "What exactly did you see? What made you come to my door with this?" And this is where the gist gets interesting. Mrs. K said her husband had been coming home late. She said she had been pressing his phone and hiding the screen. She said one day she saw him standing near my friend's window, talking on the phone and smiling. That is it. That was the evidence. Her husband standing near my friend's window, smiling on a phone call. I want you to think about this with me. My friend's window faces the street. Every single person who stands anywhere near that building is technically standing near her window. The gateman stands near that window. The generator repairman stood near that window. Even Mrs. K's own children play near that window. But it was my friend that her mind went to. My friend asked her if she had gone through his phone. She said yes, but found nothing. My friend asked if he had ever mentioned her name. She said no. My friend asked what exactly connected her to any of these parts from the window. And Mrs. K just kept saying, "I know what I know." You can imagine the rubbish. Like, "I know what I know." Without evidence, you had the mind to be saying, "I know what I know." Like, okay, let's continue. At this point, my friend's patience was starting to finish, because this woman had no evidence, nothing. She was just running on pure suspicion and early morning energy, and had chosen to bring it to my friend's door. My friend told her very clearly, "I am not involved." In fact, the truth is that my friend is a very patient. I sometimes envy or should I say I envy my friend, or she should even be the one envying me, because if it was someone like me that this kind of a thing happened to, I know what I would have done. But maybe because my friend schooled abroad, so she, you know those abroad kind of patience, when some rubbish come into you like this, they use patience the answer. Because even when she was telling me the story, I was even mad myself. I was like, wait, you were so calm addressing this thing. If not me, the woman for don't chop slap. But let's continue regardless. So my friend told her very clearly, "I am not involved with your husband in any way. I don't have his number. I have never been alone with him anywhere. Please do not come to my door with accusation you cannot support. Mrs. K actually hissed and walked away. So 3 days later, the real story came out. Turns out the husband had actually been seeing someone, a woman in his office. It had nothing entirely to do with my friend or the compound or anybody's window. The colleague had been calling him and he would step outside to take the calls privately. That's why he was always near the gates, near the street, near anywhere that wasn't inside the house. My friend's window was just where he happened to be standing one day. So Mrs. K found that through his workplace. My friend doesn't even know the full details, but 2 days after the confrontation, she could hear them arguing through the wall, and then suddenly his things were packed and he was gone. Now, here is what I want to say about the whole situation. Mrs. K was in pain, real pain. She knew something was wrong in her marriage and she was looking for somewhere to put it. Or should I say somewhere to pour it, or kind of a distraction, because there is no way you would tell me that made sense. Because why would you accuse someone you've never seen the two of them even hold hands? But because you just saw someone, imagine how lame that is. Because you just noticed your husband always answers call near her window, so you just assumed. Though my friend is a calm person, this kind of a thing if it happened to me. And unfortunately, my friend was the closest target. My friend doesn't carry bitterness about it because she understands how fear makes people behave in ways they normally wouldn't. But I also want to say this to anyone watching who might be in the same place of suspicion in their relationship. Please, before you go to your neighbor's door at 7 a.m., before you accuse someone who has done nothing, have the real conversation you need to have with your partner. Because the problem was never at my friend's door. It was inside that house the whole time. Mrs. K never apologized, by the way. She still greets my friend at the gate like nothing happened, and my friend greets her back because drama is exhausting and life is too short. So that's the gist for today. If something like this has ever happened to you or someone you know, tell me in the comment section. I want to know. I am not the only one hearing this kind of story, and if you enjoy this gist, don't forget to subscribe because I have more gist where this came from. See you in the next one. Please, if you have experienced this thing, even if no be you don't experience them, even if na your friend, maybe you've heard this kind of a story, please drop in the comment section. And if it were to be you, that your neighbor knocked at your door and started accusing you with her husband, please, what would be your reaction? Because even up till now, I'm still looking at that my friend somehow. Like, if like say this abroad, it enter you well, like, why is it not me this lady confronted like this? So that before she go even talk and finish, before she even have the chance to repeat that talk for the second time, I would have removed her teeth. She will either start looking for her teeth on the ground or she will start looking for her ear on the ground, because I'm very sure I would have deaf her. So guys, please, what would you have done? Drop your comment. What's your take on this? Drop your take in the comment section.